Hi kids, we're filming this in night vision because it seems to keep the whiteboard in focus better. So here we go. These are just a few of the tips that I often give students who are struggling to learn the 50 states. I'm not going to cover every state because I don't have tips for all of them, but I will go over a few of the things that might help you out. We'll see. I'm assuming you know, like Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Arizona is right next to us. These collectively are known as the four corner states, right? Arizona, Utah is here, named after the Utes who used to live there. This one is right next to Mexico, so it is New Mexico, right? I'm assuming you know Texas. This is Colorado, which is named for its red color, which is actually more prominent in places like Utah and Arizona. But the southern part of Colorado has some of that. Colorado, right, you know, has big mountains, right? The Rocky Mountains are there. Well, that extends up this way, up to Montana, right? Mountain, right? Montana. Idaho is a little bit eye-shaped, right? So Idaho has a little bit of an eye shape. Not really, but, you know, it's the best I got. We skipped over Wyoming here. Wyoming is the least populated state, for what it's worth. Okay, Texas, I'm assuming you got Hawaii, Alaska. They're not actually here. Alaska's way up there, and Hawaii's way out there. Okay, good. Covered that. But that's where they tend to show up on maps so that they fit nicely. Okay, all of these states, though, do have something in common. They have the letter K in them. I'm going to write K here because I can't reach the top of the board. And even Texas has a little bit of a K sound right there. Okay, so up at the top we have North Dakota, right? So it's got a K, and South Dakota. If you can locate North Dakota, you can locate South Dakota. Good job. Then we have Nebraska and Kansas, right? They both have K's in them. And we will talk a lot about Kansas and Nebraska in our third rotation, so please know where they are. We will also talk about Oklahoma a bunch later this year. K for Oklahoma. So all of these have K's. Remember that. Our next column over, remember these in columns, right? Because right in the middle of the country here, they come in nice columns. Most students remember Meemaw. I will also give you a few other ways to remember these. Let's start at the bottom here. This is an L-shaped state. Nicely, it starts with an L. It's Louisiana. You won a prize. Okay, this one is A for Arkansas, which is spelled Arkansas. And notice it's close to Kansas, but not quite touching. So, Kansas, not quite there. All right, this one is Missouri, which sounds like misery. And you can remember that because it's right in the middle of the country, and it's where I come from. So I'm teaching you about U.S. history, and I cause you much misery. So misery is in the middle of the country. I come from St. Louis right there. Okay, so misery comes from the middle of the country. There you go. Iowa here, we'll come back to Iowa in a second. And this is Minnesota. That's where I went to college. And it looks a little like a soda can that is being, wait, where do I put my hand? Crushed, right? So it's a Minnesota, right? So you can try and remember that. Okay, I don't have a good hint for Wisconsin or Michigan here, so good luck with those. But let's talk about Iowa. Iowa starts with an I. So does Illinois, which is right next door. All right, and so does Indiana, which is next to it. Look at those I's. 3 I's in a row. We'll get better. Don't worry. This is Ohio, right? It also has a prominent I sound. And check this out. Iowa is 4 letters. Ohio is 4 letters. 4 in a row, 4 states with prominent I sounds. So there's a lot of things to hang on to there. So don't mess those up. Got all your I's in a row there. Cool. This one looks like a piece of fried chicken. So it is Kentucky. And I I don't have any good hint for this, but this is Tennessee, right below it. Tennessee and Kentucky are often sort of thought of as a pair because they kind of. Okay, down here in the South, though, President Trump is a very popular candidate, and President Trump's supporters, they wear the hats, right? And the hats say, "Make America Great Again," right? We call them MAGA hats. So we go, "Make America Great Again." And so this one is Mississippi. And Mississippi is along the Mississippi River there, which goes up past St. Louis and up that way. Okay, so Mississippi, we'll talk a lot about the Mississippi River. And Alabama, right? And this one is Georgia. The abbreviation for Georgia is GA. So there you go. So MAGA, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia here. This is Florida down here. I think you know that. This is North Carolina and South Carolina. I don't have anything great to help you remember those other than they're north and south of each other. I used to live in North Carolina too. Oh, that was bad. So, anyways, glad to be in California. California is awesome. This is Virginia. I don't have any great hints for you on that, but this is West Virginia next to it. And they used to be one big state together. They split apart during the Civil War, and ask me about that when we're studying the Civil War, and I'll tell you why that happened. This funky shaped thing is Maryland. There is no good hint for that other than it's awful. It kind of looks like an M if you really, really work hard at it. Good luck. This little thing here is Delaware. I got no hints for that other than that's where Joe Biden, the Democratic presidential candidate, is from. So you should remember he's from this tiny little nothing. Great. Moving north here, we have Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Don't have any great hints for those either. This is the state of New York, very important place. This is where New York City is, right here at the tip of Long Island and sort of the junction with the rest of the state there. So New York is very important. It's right next to New Jersey, so you can remember all those new things being next to each other. And then, speaking of which, the rest of these states up here we collectively call New England. And so the New England states, well, it's kind of getting off my screen a little weird. We'll just move it. The New England states over here, these 6 states are some of the first ones settled by those English colonists. This one here, I'll write it out here, is Connecticut, or Connecticut, as we say. And it connects New York to this tiny little thing, which is Rhode Island. So Rhode Island is the tiny, tiny, tiny little there between Connecticut and Massachusetts. This is Massachusetts. Massachusetts is very important in early U.S. history. This is where Cape Cod is. This is Boston right here. Boston is the center, really, of a lot of that revolutionary activity we've talked about. V for Vermont, right? It's a little bit V-shaped. Its opposite one is New Hampshire, and H. And finally, up here we have Maine. And in early U.S. history, Maine was part of Massachusetts. We'll talk about when it became its own state as well. I think that's about it for tips and hints. So let's just review a few of them. We got mountains here. We got the K's, right? Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma. We have Meemaw, right? Louisiana's easy. Arkansas is near Kansas. Missouri comes from the middle of the country. And then we've got our 4 I's across here. Oh, right, Minnesota, crushing soda can. Okay, 4 I's, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. Well, I didn't put an A on Indiana. There we go. Ohio, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio. 4 letters in Ohio, 4 letters in Iowa. There you go. And we've got our MAGA hat-wearing people down here, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. Got kind of an M-shaped Maryland, Virginia, and West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina. Those are pairs. New Jersey's near New York. Can't really help you much more than that. V for Vermont. Connecticut connects New York and Rhode Island. best thing that you can do is practice a lot. And super quickly, I'm going to turn the lights and show you. This is what your looks like with everything pushed up against the wall. Someday, maybe, you'll get to come here and have a class here. That'd be fun, right? Hope you found this useful. Have a nice day.